This is the Town of Bolton Planning Board meeting, Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. It is now 7 p.m. Pam, could you take the attendance, please?
Sure. Robert Romer,
Here?
Eric Nyland,
Here.
Austin Groner,
Here.
James Barr.
Here.
It looks like Michael Lau is absent and Michael Gore is absent as well. So we'll proceed with 4 members.
Okay. Okay, the first agenda item is the public meeting. Pam, could you read the public meeting notice?
Well, we don't have one.
It's a continuation. Okay.
No, it just didn't require notice.
Okay. Tom,
Yes.
would you like to discuss the proposal?
Well, I think basically, and Pam, you can comment on this, but the proposal is to build just shy of a 1,200 square foot ADU on the property at 113 Still River Road. And I see the Dillis and Roy map there. You can see it just above the D and Dillis there.
There's one existing building on the premises. It contains commercial area and 3 apartments that was permitted through the ZBA as pre-existing non-conforming uses. Because the property is located in the residential zoning district, they are still allowed and subject to the ADU bylaw, so they are allowed 1 ADU on the parcel, and this would account for that. And bring up the architectural plans. He notes in this picture the general location of the ADU. And then there are architectural plans of the unit. It's 1 story and the basement height is low enough where it doesn't count towards the gross floor area. So it's a 1 bedroom, standalone, large accessory dwelling unit with under 1,200 square feet.
Right, it's 2 bedrooms, Pam, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
2 bedrooms.
Yeah. Okay.
We did receive 1 comment from DPW requesting that the driveway apron where it meets the public way be paved.
And that's become standard.
Yeah, we actually incorporated that design and construction requirement into our new driveway bylaw. And that's to prevent damage and wear and tear of the public way where vehicles enter and exit driveways that may not be paved.
Any comments from the board? Looks like it's reasonable and consistent.
So it's on the south side of 117, right? I was just trying to get a sense of.
Yeah, if you come down from the center of town to Bolton Orchards and take a left, it's the building right next to Bolton Orchards.
Uh-huh. So that's the existing building. Okay, so it's going to be going to the right.
Right around here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
This
It's
this
to the
is
right
an
as you're
A&R.
facing the building, right?
Yes.
This is an A&R the board approved about 6 months ago or so. And he purchased additional property from Bolton Orchards.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, and I annexed it on here, and that makes the lot conforming, and there's sufficient area for the ADU.
Can you zoom in
Which one? On
a
this?
bit more? Yeah, right. Yeah, zoom
Yeah.
in there a bit more.
Pam, oddly enough, I can't see anything that you're sharing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to drop off completely for a minute and try to get back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a house on parcel 3, or is that just for future?
That is a house that's been there. It's not in my wife's name actually, but
Yeah.
we own that. Yeah. And the land behind was also needed, not to that parcel you're pointing at now. I didn't buy that, but the one to the left of that towards Bolton Orchards, that odd shaped one. It was to get enough square footage for the Board of Health to approve those additional bedrooms.
And what is 113 Still River? Is that a business? I was always confused. Is that a house or a business?
Well, it's been a lot of things over the years. When I was a kid, and I'm 78 now, so it was a restaurant there. But it's been a craft shop. It's been a number, safety equipment building. I bought it. We used it for office spaces for a number of years until they needed more space and have space in Leominster now for the offices. So.
So it's been a business. So do we typically do, so it's an accessory dwelling unit? I mean,
It's because it's in a residential area.
yeah, I
It's sort
understand
of
that.
an odd property because, well, it always had an apartment and back when it was a restaurant, the people lived in the back.
Yeah.
So it has 3 apartments in it right now.
Oh, so it's all apartments. It's fitted out as apartments.
Well, I have office space there for myself currently.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was just wondering, business-wise, if it was fitted with whatever you would need, septic and stuff for a restaurant, but it sounds like it's all repurposed now, so.
Yeah, no, I put in a new septic system a few years back.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, okay. I have no issues. Seems good.
We just need to wait for Bob to come back, because right now we don't have a quorum to vote on the project, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back, even if he comes back on his phone.
I
Sure.
see him popped on.
Oh. Actually, we do. Yeah, here he is.
Hey, that
Right.
worked.
Hey, there you go. You
Welcome
turned the
back.
crank, got it going.
Yeah, well, I had to feed the mice actually. One overlooks these things.
Bob, we just reviewed the existing uses of the building. There's an office space and 3 apartments within the existing structure, because the properties in a residential zoning district are entitled to 1 accessory dwelling unit.
Yep.
And this parcel A was added,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, to the parcels to satisfy Title V requirements for bedroom counts.
And for the AD, what is the site location in this map?
It's approximately here, but I can bring it up. He did include
No, that's
a
all right.
plot.
I recall seeing
It's just on the other
in
screen.
the detailed drawings. Okay.
They're upside down now, but there we go.
Yeah, no, I see it. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only additional requirement is just to do paving at the apron to Still River Road, right?
Yes, that was the only requirement.
Okay.
Is there any way you could repurpose the entrance that's already there, or?
It'd have to go over the septic system, and the house elevation wise is
Okay.
quite a bit higher than the other building.
Okay. How many, it looks like it's a pretty, nobody's really going in and out of the other building, and it's pretty far from the entrance to Bolton Orchards, so should be fine. You also have the stoplight there, so
Yeah, that's a little ways down, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but you have
Okay.
pretty good sight on either direction coming out of the driveway, right?
Yes, it's a straight road there, yeah.
Right.
Is
All right,
the
I'm good.
is the plan to park like in that buffer zone between the ADU and the property line, or what's the plan for where to park vehicles for the 2 units?
It's not 2 units, it's only 2 bedrooms.
Oh, two
It's only
bedrooms.
1 unit, so,
Got
you
it.
know, in the driveway there, you could put 1 or 2 cars, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Any other comments on the board? Well, beyond that additional requirement, I have no comments. Should we go ahead with a vote on this?
Sure. I'll make a motion that we approve the secondary dwelling unit, large detached accessory, sorry, let me do this again. Make a motion that we approve the large detached accessory dwelling unit at 113 Still River Road. Yep. Good
Second.
enough?
Eric, can I just make a friendly amendment that you include the condition that the driveway apron be paved for a minimum distance of 20 feet into the property?
Okay, so what I just said, plus add pavement 20 feet in from the roadway.
Second.
Robert Romer,
Aye.
Eric Nyland,
Aye.
Austin Groner,
Aye.
James Barr.
Aye.
The ADU is approved by a vote of 4-0.
Very good.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Tom, thank you.
yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Bye now.
Okay, now for the main event. Item 2 on the agenda, the review of the draft town meeting warrant. Pam, do you want to put up that document?
Sure. Let's get to our articles. I distributed a draft of the town meeting warrant. We are Articles 11, 12, 13, and 14. It's going to be voted on, we suspect, for final version at tomorrow select board meeting, so changes after that date will not be able to be made. So
Yeah, we'd have to make an amendment on the town meeting floor.
yes, we can suggest they incorporate amendments tomorrow. That is still permissible. Town council did have a few comments. They were minor in nature. I can bring them up.
Yeah, could you bring those up, please?
He just suggested an amendment to Article 14 when we grant waivers to include more defining criteria. He said that's often looked for at the Attorney General's office, so he just basically reworded what we had there to the language you see before you. Can you see that okay?
Yes. Can you expand it a little bit?
Yeah.
There we go. That's fine.
As part of a driveway permit decision, the planning board may grant a waiver from the requirements of this bylaw upon finding that it is impractical or impossible to meet one or more requirements, and the waiver will not have a substantial negative impact on public safety.
Okay. I just had a question about that since Mark Case had brought up a number of important issues with respect to distance and speed. If one puts a convex mirror, which is a very standard way of being able to look down the street from the other side, and that goes on the town way, the town taking, the town would have to permit that, right?
I think they would need permission, yeah, to place
Okay.
something in the townway.
Okay, but that is a very viable approach to solving that problem. Without cutting down trees or moving stone walls, which is Mark's issue. Okay, can you enlarge that a little bit? Yep. Good.
We didn't have comments on the land use table other than I forgot to take this sentence out here. That says a childcare home is exempt or is allowed by zoning. That shouldn't be in there.
Pam, does that first sentence make sense now? Family, childcare, home, a private residence? Which,
This is the defining term. That's the term from the table.
okay.
And then
It just needs like a colon or something.
Just needs a colon or is or something like that. Yeah, that's just a grammatical, yeah.
Wasn't there some, when we went over the table of uses with the EDC, there were a couple of things that I found were missing. Are those all correct now? I think,
yes, yeah, I went through the one, I'm having trouble with the OneDrive, but I went through the minutes and made sure all the amendments that we made at the meeting were incorporated into the table.
Out of curiosity, what were they?
I had left the movie drive-in there and we had taken that out. And we went
Oh,
back
darn.
and forth a little bit between restaurants in the industrial zone.
yeah,
I-
so,
yeah.
so I think at the EDC meeting, you were saying, so a brew pub is allowed, but a restaurant isn't.
Yeah, that's the way we have it by special permit.
Okay, like, if we have a brew pub, why not just have a restaurant?
What could
It's
have,
fine.
the brew pub has a restaurant component to it, right? But it has
Yeah, the industrial kind of aspect of it as well, yeah.
but it has all the equipment to do the brewing too, and which is the distinction, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's too late to adjust the restaurant thing. Maybe just do the brew pub for now.
It's not, if the board agrees to it, we can still change it for tomorrow.
What are you suggesting for industrial, put in special permit?
No, well, I was saying, well, no, what is it now? A brew
It's
pub?
no for restaurants and industrial.
Oh, okay. No. Oh, but it's special permit for brew pubs
Yes,
Yes.
and then no for restaurants.
yeah, and I think Austin
Well, I was-
pointed out our reasoning why we did that, because,
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah,
definitely a valid reason, but like, you're gonna have a brew pub and food. I don't know. Just to me, you could just put special permit for a restaurant. I could understand wanting to talk a little bit more about like daycare and other things, but like, I feel like you could add restaurant without a lot of upheaval. I don't know if anybody else agrees. I can go.
Sorry,
with,
Eric, can you repeat that?
Oh, I'm just saying, if we're saying special permit for a brew pub, which is, presumably going to serve food, I don't see why we just don't say special permit as well for a restaurant. But if I could wait till next year too, if people want, but I'm good either way.
Does does brew pub necessarily mean that they have the equipment to do the brewing process as well as the restaurant, Pam? Is that
yeah, that's the intent of that.
yeah, which is more of a, I don't know. It's not, it's more similar to industrial than fine dining, the brewing process, right?
Yep.
So it in my mind it's a little easier to lump together with maybe some other businesses in the industrial zone. If we're talking about a fine dining restaurant in the middle of an industrial zone, that wouldn't be an ideal location for it. Um, but if you have some other examples, Eric, of restaurants that would go there, I mean, would be open to hearing about it.
Well, I mean, let's talk about Paragon. If those buildings are redeveloped, that'd be a great place to have a restaurant, wouldn't it?
It
Yeah,
would,
I
yeah.
think so.
Kind of similar, I think the discussion we had last meeting was that, we could look at some examples in neighboring towns like The Landing, right, in Hudson, where
Exactly, yeah.
have restaurants mixed in with businesses, mixed in with consignment, and like they have a whole bunch of different use cases there. Um, my comment was that's a great idea, but there's no industrial in that building. It's all, light commercial and architectural offices, and there's even some medical things in there too. So um, I like the sentiment, but I guess I'd have some concerns with a restaurant being right next to something that's
Yeah.
manufacturing equipment.
But I mean, like as long as Board of Health standards are met and you know, it's up to the owner to determine if the business is like viable or not. Like if imagine they're not gonna put a Michelin 5-star restaurant there, it would probably be more of like, I don't know, a sandwich shop
Yeah,
or
but
something. I don't know what they would do.
there are better places to put that five-star Michelin restaurant in town than, next to
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but just
HVAC manufacturing.
I don't see why we wouldn't just say special permit for restaurant
Yeah,
itself.
I would
But like,
agree.
I don't have any major concerns. I
I mean, your argument is just saying like, yeah, like is more of like a poor choice of a business plan, like, but like I'm
yeah,
sure somebody could come up with something.
right.
It,
Yeah,
it turns out to be long-term issues though for the town, because even though a use chooses to go there, they
Yeah.
will complain about what's going on around them.
I mean, that's
You
if
see it a lot.
in an effort that we didn't just throw it in at the end, that's fine if we want to talk about it more, make a better overall plan for the industrial zone. I'm fine with that. Talk to the owners, just leave it how it is. It's fine.
Okay, moving down.
Yep. I think those were the main issues, right? That we saw.
Yeah. For EDC, right?
Yeah. Well, I walked through the table of uses with the EDC. Yeah.
Bob, did you want to talk about the building material contractor shed?
Yeah,
I came up with a definition. I don't know if the board wants to look at it this late in the game, but I know.
So you're saying you added that to the table of uses, but we took off the in-home kind of like
right.
business bylaw. But you're saying
That's
you
gonna
Yes.
get looked at again.
Right, but we had added this as a use because we didn't really have, when we talked to that landscaping company that wanted to go into the industrial district
Mhm.
next to the HVAC company, we didn't have a category to fit them into.
Yep,
Um,
got it.
and we really should have a category anyway, regardless if they
Yep.
if they move forward or not. So, we created this category in the use table. It's a new category and we allowed it by special permit in the industrial zoning district. We received some public comment from Doug Story and Frank Chiodo, expressing opinion that they felt it which should be allowed in the business zoning district by special permit as well.
Any thoughts on that? I mean, if it were carefully controlled and we had a clear definition and, guardrails and safeguards, that it wouldn't screw up the rest of economic development activities in the business area, yeah, that'd be great. But how do you go about doing that? Does a special permit cover that?
I don't know if it does because like we couldn't deny it based on like us, having a preference of what we want there. So
if
Does
it,
that put us in a legal bind? I mean, how much latitude do we have?
Well, and
And-
what business zone would you want to see it? Because we have the land next to 495 and we have 4 Bushmill 117 and that's it for business.
Right.
We don't have
Well,
much
that's what I'm
area we're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm saying like, I don't think we envision a contractor's yard in that land in the long term.
Nope.
Um, So um, hmm,
Now, there
I'm not
was an
sure what to,
additional argument that came up as a result of the home occupation conversation, and that is, gee, if you're going to show in this table that it's outlawed completely in residential areas, well, how in the world can you let it happen? Or is that going to exclude it from happening under home occupation?
yeah, that's a good
And Pam
point.
had a good answer for that, I hope.
Yeah, home
Home
occupation
occupation
is,
is onto its own. It's not part of
right.
this table.
There's conditions of a home occupation that have to be satisfied. It has to be accessory to your single family residence. You have to live there.
Right.
You can't exceed a certain amount of employees. So that provides exemptions to allowed uses in this table if those conditions are met. Similarly, we don't allow business professional offices in the residential zone, but we of course allow them as home occupations. So it's the same kind of treatment to those things. So as long as you satisfy the home occupation part of the zoning bylaw, this um land use table doesn't come into play for these
And again,
Yeah,
commercial
that
use.
assumes that you're rigorously enforcing the home occupation.
It has to satisfy the home occupation bylaw. I didn't interpret whether things did or not, but it would have to.
it's kind of weird, right? Because you kind of want to like put like NA, not like not
Yeah,
applicable on
you
the other
can't
ones.
though.
Yeah,
There are
it's
only
like
three options here. Yes,
I
no, or
write,
special permit.
yeah, because it's like yeah, I want to like I understand what we're doing with the industrial zone, and that makes total sense, special permit. But I do know there is like Frank, for instance, like he's like storing stuff there. It's kind of a contractor's yard, which is fine. I don't care. But like if we're putting something here now, like it kind of like makes it long term, pre-existing non-conforming. If we like I just don't know how it impacts the business zone in the long term, and if we wanted to
Which part are you talking about?
like Forbush Mill Road, like okay, so if we say special permit and all of a sudden there's a big contractor yard, then we come up with this new zoning, like now it's a contractor yard. I don't know, like
Yeah, it would, yeah. If we
it's
changed anything after it's there, it's grandfathered, yeah.
yeah, it's grandfathered in, and if
Mhm.
that's not what we want there, then
Well, how much
it's tricky.
latitude do we have then? If it's under a special permit, it goes back to that old argument. What
Yeah.
is the authority of the board with respect to
But
denial or
I
uh,
mean,
I,
the
I
way the
think we
way
need,
the way
oh,
I've
sorry.
always looked at, sorry, the way I've always looked at special permits is it detrimental to the neighborhood? Uh, Basically, all the senses is detrimental to the neighborhood, and then like minor things like ingress, egress, stuff like that. Like, but like I would think that for the most part, a contractor yard wouldn't be detrimental to the neighborhood, so I wouldn't see how we could turn it down. You know, I don't know. Like if it's on there, it's on the books, it could become that. But we're still in the process of discovering what we want Forbush Mill Road to be. So I'm just hesitant to like, I'm a little bit nervous of adding this to those zones.
Maybe we could revisit this at a later date.
But in saying that, I know that Frank is, storing some stuff on his property, and I'm fine with it. I don't want it to be enforced if we say no. So
But
that's
I
what,
think that's still, but that would be under the residential home office use, right?
home occupation, right?
Home occupation, thank you.
yeah, but I mean, he has it on
I don't know
business
if he
zone land.
lives, does he live there?
He has it on business zone land, so
No, that wouldn't be applicable. A home occupation is
Has to be
accessory
residential.
to a residential use.
I
But
didn't
he
know.
has it there and he has had it there, so it would be
so
grandfathered.
so so if we didn't have this in here, like you're saying that this whole category is kind of gray area for
It's really not allowed, it's really not allowed. We tried to categorize it as bulk storage, but it didn't really fit into the definition of that. And if a use isn't included in your land table and you can't fit it into anywhere, it's not a permitted use.
It's just a tricky situation because I don't want to hurt. Well, you know what? He's already doing it. So he's grandfathered in. So even if we
Yeah.
said no, he's already doing it. So
Yep.
pre-existing non-conforming, he's fine.
Right. And that's what he is
Yeah,
now, anyway,
Yeah.
so I
yeah,
don't think it's gonna affect what he's doing.
Okay,
yeah.
but I think one of the things we have to think about there, though, is scope of growth. That what he's doing now is pre-existing non-conforming. Now, if
Right.
he continues to do it but expands his operation, does that
Right.
continue to be it? And my
No,
knee-jerk reaction is no.
right, no, because that's kind of like if you know, if say kitchen sink candle shop wanted to add some big expansion or something, not that they could, but like that would open up if they're still pre-existing non-conforming. You know, it'd have to go through a hearing for sure.
Yeah, but that's the way it is supposed to be now,
Yeah,
because it's not permitted in the business zone
right.
under any of the use categories, so it's not allowed.
Oh. Oh, so you're saying he's not really pre-existing non-conforming?
Would he be
I-
able to apply for
It
a
may be
variance?
if it pre-exists the zoning that we have now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is just a tricky one because I don't want to impact anybody,
Yeah,
but
but
I also don't want to like jump ahead of what we are planning on doing.
if he had plans to expand his operation, and it would have to go through a hearing for that, as it stands today, would he?
Well,
would
what
he be,
she's,
oh, sorry, I
yeah,
was just going to say, would he be allowed to apply for a variance?
No, we don't allow use variances. It would be expansion or
Yeah.
change of a non-conforming.
And the
Got
thing
it.
is like, yeah, like right now it's kind of like, it's a gray area because it's not on there, but if we put it on here as no, now all of a sudden it's kind of a weird, it's a
Well,
weird.
it's not gray, it's not on, it's not allowed. That's Mass General law. The only thing
Yeah.
that would kind of fit into is bulk storage, and that's not allowed in the business zoning district now anyway.
Is all of Frank's operation in business zone land?
I can take a
I
look.
think
I'm
so.
not quite sure.
Yeah, I think so. He has the residential, but he's building houses on it.
What's the property address?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
It's where Dagnalls used to be.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
behind-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if those are his trucks or whatever, but storing stuff there. And like, again, I'm fine with it.
I mean, those are all National Grid trucks, aren't they? All parked in there?
Yeah, yeah, he must be getting, he
I
must
mean,
be
he's just getting
getting,
rental from,
right, yeah, he's getting some rental.
and the only equipment that of his, Chiodo, is heavy equipment that's being used for excavating.
Right. Yeah, it's just if he's, getting some income from that while he's figuring out the rest of the land, I'd hate to stick it to him.
Well,
Again, it's not allowed now. We're not changing that, so it's
Yeah,
existing.
yeah, I guess we're under don't ask, don't tell. Right.
So is there no grandfathered in use
Well,
of that? Yeah, I'm just unclear about that. It's not allowed now, but he is doing it. Was he doing it before it wasn't allowed, I guess is the question.
the thing is, it's not listed, right? So, the building inspector kind of has to like categorize the use into something that's there. So I don't know what he's doing now. Right now, I think everybody's just kind of like cool with it.
Yeah, and there's this quarry operation too that's pre-existing on the Bolton Orchards property.
Mhm.
I mean, it brings up a legal issue, I guess, that if we don't catch you, you're pre-existing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, I guess. I don't know what to, I don't know what to do. I don't want to say yes, but I don't want to say no.
Well, that comes into special permit.
I think
Yeah.
I think special permit has to be the option here, but I'm just curious, what could we enforce with a special permit?
That's what I'm saying, not much. I don't think so. Like, I think, if we put it as special permit and he came before us and said he wanted to make all his land a contract yard, I don't really see I don't see what grounds we would have to say no. I mean, we could still go ahead
It
with,
really doesn't fit into what we have discussed for that
No,
area.
it hasn't.
Yeah,
exactly, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't fit into what we discussed. But if we said it's special permit, I don't see how we could say no to the special permit, because you can't approve or just, deny or approve a special permit based on what you want. It's just like, are you meeting our bylaws,
we had a similar discussion about the self-storage facility at Colonial Candies, right? We were considering adding that as a special permit. Um,
But
and
there's,
Well, same thing, but it's not in there. And so, like, personally, I'd rather not see a self-storage there. So we don't have an obligation to put it in there.
No,
You know?
I know, but if when we were considering this to make it special permit, we were saying we still had jurisdiction over the aesthetics, right? If the
Yeah,
building didn't look good, if it didn't fit the neighborhood, if it didn't fit the area, it was going to be detrimental to the people living close by,
yeah.
right?
Well, okay,
So
so yeah, he'd put some, like, fencing up or some tree, borders or whatever, and that would probably solve it. But
yeah.
I guess my concern is, it goes back to the old DPW argument of not good
right,
neighbors. That if we had that kind of a facility up there, our probability of getting
right.
small businesses up there would be significantly reduced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I
agree.
I guess if we're gonna put it on, we have to say no on that. But, like, um, I don't know. I did.
Well, I mean, I think at this point we could say no, but with the proviso that we are now have a group that is reviewing that particular area
Yeah.
and would like to determine, based on the conversations that we had and will have, what the criteria and the limitations and curbs would be to businesses in that area. And we're not there yet by any means.
And he is also part of that group as well.
He absolutely is, despite
Yeah.
what he's written about us lately.
I haven't caught any of that. So
You're lucky.
was that on Facebook?
No,
Oh, okay.
direct.
Oh, okay.
So I
Oh,
pulled it definition. I don't know if you want to take a look at it for contractor's yard and landscaping.
I think that'd be useful.
Yep.
Storage yards operated by or on behalf of a contractor and or landscaping company for storage of equipment, vehicles, or other materials commonly used in the individual contractors and landscape type of businesses, storage of materials used for business operations, associated buildings or structures for uses such as offices, warehousing, and repairing of equipment and supplies. All operations shall be such as to confine to the premises dust, noise, odors, and other objectionable effects. All materials and equipment shall attempt to be screened from public view and abutting properties.
Well, I mean, if it
Oh,
met
I'm
all
sorry.
that criteria, we'd probably be in pretty good shape.
Thought I had it on the screen there. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, it meets that definition in my opinion.
Yeah, individual though.
Yep.
So we allowed a contract, so we allowed those two oh, no, we didn't actually go through a hearing for the industrial. We just kind of said we're okay with it, right?
Yeah, that was a preliminary site plan application they submitted, and
Yeah.
we just gave them some guidance on how to proceed with definitive plans, and we haven't received anything.
But if they came before us without having this updated, would we still be able to approve it? I mean,
Yes. It's,
Really?
well, it's special permit in the industrial zoning district.
oh, no, but like that's with this in here. This isn't currently in there.
If
in the
that were
current-
missing, that line item were missing completely, we wouldn't, right?
Right. It doesn't
It is-
really fit.
It is missing completely, isn't it?
Yes,
No.
it's missing completely.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what you're saying is if this isn't in here, those two lots that those, the family wanted to develop it, we wouldn't be able to say yes.
We were trying to stretch it and fit it into bulk storage, but it didn't really meet the definition of what we have for bulk storage. So as a result, we wanted to create something that would allow this type of use in town.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess what makes sense to me is that it's yes, it's special permit and industrial and no in the others, That's what makes the most sense right now.
Excuse me.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like whether there's another category that we could, for like, I mean, you can't.
Could we say long-term or short-term?
Exactly.
have, like-
That's what I was suggesting was maybe there's
Could we,
like
could we make it
long-term-
could we make it two lines and say long-term, no, special permit, and then short-term?
What would
special-
short-term be and what would be the purpose of
What's
that?
I'm not sure.
Because you're allowed
this-
to have those types of vehicles in operations during construction, but they can't be there as a use. I've never heard of defining a use as allowed short-term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that would,
Well, I'm trying to just think of this buffer between now and when we actually have a full plan for Forest Mill. That's all.
Yeah. What worries me is that by the time that area is developed, it's going to be 5 years down the road, 10 years
Yeah.
down the road, and
Could we add, I don't know if this is something that can go in the town bylaw, but like if you say something like as redevelopment of the zone is happening, building
No,
inspection. I'm trying to,
you're
Just
talk
adding-
about
you're adding
formally
conditions.
kicking the can down the road.
yeah, I want to formally kick the can down the road.
you can prohibit it while certain things while studies are done, but you cannot allow them while studies are done because there's a significant investment.
Okay,
that
so that's
occurs.
the answer, I think, right there.
Am I the first person who ever tried to write a law to officially kick the can down the road?
No, Congress does it all
Probably
the
not.
time.
Okay, well, in town, yeah.
So, and just to be clear, he's not grandfathered in already. If he were grandfathered in already, we could make the change, right? And
Didn't,
wouldn't be able to expand that use upon that use, right?
he could buy special permit. If you're a pre-existing non-conforming use, you can expand your use by
Is he-
expansion or change through a special permit with the zoning
But-
board of appeals.
But
Yeah.
is he pre-existing non-conforming?
I haven't looked into whether he's pre-existing. It looks like the use didn't start until
Right.
2020,
Yeah,
2021.
so I imagine, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to cause problems.
Yeah, I don't want to cause problems either, but I
Hey.
don't want to open up a loophole so that
Right, yeah.
other
I
people
agree.
get great ideas and see it as a precedent and
Yeah. Like, cause there is other business zone land in town that like, Kane property, like, I don't know, like maybe that becomes a big contractor's yard. I don't know.
That's really the only other business area.
Yeah. Yep.
But the bottom line, unfortunately, is that it was not authorized within a business area. It exists now in the business area and it is not grandfathered by being a pre-existing activity, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I haven't looked into that. So I don't.
Well, I mean, the zoning for that area has been around a long time before 2020, right?
Yeah. It's probably when they initially did the business, so.
Yeah, it's tough because he's a pretty key stakeholder for Forbush Mills.
Right.
Yeah,
We don't want to alienate him as a business owner. I totally understand that. So I feel like we're between a rock and a hard place here.
Yeah.
If there was some way for us to say, you know, you're allowed to do this for some amount of time.
You're about
Uh,
to do what I just did.
I'm trying to think outside the box,
But there's not.
but
We keep
there's not.
talking
Yeah.
about it, but there's no way to do it.
Yep.
Eric, didn't we years ago invite that whole section?
Not years
Um,
ago. It was
um,
just like a few months
just
ago.
months ago.
Yeah.
yeah, where with this is so I'm confused about why.
Well, so right now he has a little side business going on, while he's figuring out what to do with the land. And I really don't want to hurt that. But like, I really don't want to officially, notarize business owned land becoming contractor yards.
So then I think we can consider that as existing at the time of adoption of the bylaw, and it would be
Yeah.
pre.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's
So
good.
let's
It was-
leave it at that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's de facto grandfathered.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he has a ton of equipment.
No, but like whatever. He has a little side business on there, and if it's helping pay the bills, then I don't want to hurt it. Well, so I think he is grandfathered. So there was nothing really saying no before, and now it's saying no, but he was there. So
But I do think that's something that in the next year, we have to be very serious about considering.
yeah,
Good neighbors and compatible uses
Yep.
become
Yep.
very critical to zoning. I mean,
yep, for sure, for sure. You want it to be like a cohesive property.
okay, so it's no, and Pam, can you let him know that
Sure.
we believe that he is grandfathered under that, and we'd be glad to put that in writing?
Yeah, we can put that in writing.
Yeah.
I'll talk to it has to come from the building commissioner, so.
Okay. Okay. But I think it's good that we have this definition. And as I think there needs to be a lot of discussion in the development of that area about what appropriate businesses should be. And I mean, it's sort of a common wheel argument that, everybody has the right to do whatever they want as long as they don't screw up the rights of everybody else. And I think we've got to look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like we're thinking about, if we're thinking about it, it's like a, whatever entertainment, retail, restaurant type
Yeah.
thing. I'm not sure what it would be and what is viable, but like if you have retail, restaurant, contractor's yard, retail, restaurant, that's not really a good plan.
Nope. Okay, should we move on? Or are there any other?
I think that was it for the land use
That was the
table.
only controversial one,
Yeah.
certainly in the last few days.
I mean, if he's whatever really against it, he could just make an amendment to remove that line, the floor. I don't know if that's the discussion you were having with him or not, but we can move on.
No, I mean, if he wants to do that, that's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
The problem I have in input that we've gotten recently is it's all negative, and accusatory, but there's very, very little in the way of positive ways of dealing with the issue. It's just, no, you're screwing us. And I don't react well to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
Anyway, such is life. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about, being on a board.
Yeah. Glad I'm not the chairman. I did my time.
I'm looking for a replacement though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm- I mean, I mean, it is tough being the chairman. We probably
Not
should just,
fun.
yeah, I mean, I would, well, we're not talking about this now, but like, you're doing great, keep forever. But if someday maybe we should talk about just rotating, like, I don't know, like the select board does.
One of the challenges for me is I don't have enough experience at this
Yeah.
point, other than going through the training program
Well,
and the rest of
and
that.
that's why historically, like, people have done it for a few years in a row. Like Doug Story did it for a bunch of years, and then Dave Yesway did it for a few, and then I did it for a few, and then Mike did it for a few, and now hopefully you'll do it for a few. It's because it takes you a year just to like
Absolutely.
get going.
Yeah. I mean, there are boards, I think, that can do it on a rotated basis, like Concom. I mean,
Right.
when I was on Concom, we did rotate, and everybody was pretty well on board, and the agent knew a great deal, as Pam does, and was able to guide us. But planning's a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I just know, if you're the chairman, you hear from the town planner a lot more than the other people do. So
Yep. Okay. We had gone through this. Mark made the point quite justifiably. The language was changed. And I mean, there are alternatives if people really do run into real problems, both in distance to another road and the site. Um, one of which certainly is having mirrors on the other side of the road. Which seemed to be endemic in Lincoln, among other places.
I have seen the site distance in the regulations as well, so
Yeah.
that is an option. That's, of course, easier to change than including it in the bylaw.
Well, do you want to do that?
It's up to the board. It's
I
still
prefer to
pretty
do
low.
that rather than make it hard here and then have to go, as things get tougher and tougher and tougher in Bolton. There's going to have to be variances to, much of what we see, all particularly on back roads.
I mean, well, you do mention that the waiver, there's a waiver here, so.
Have to replace that with the town council comments. This question
Oh.
here that's highlighted.
Oh,
He
okay.
actually made it more lenient, so not that it wasn't anyway, but he made it clearer, I should say.
Okay, so, this is a little like the Phosphord language. We encourage people to.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so everybody's in favor of hanging on to this and with that amended language from the town council?
Mhm. So
Okay.
this is the words that he added then, 14.
No, I'm trying to,
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
this is
And
what
you-
we have, and then
And you saw a minute ago, Pam
Yeah.
brought up what he had suggested.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed it.
that's
Why don't you
okay.
do that again, just to make sure that we're all on board, Pam?
Yeah, I'm trying I think I closed it. Hold on one second. I closed it
Your
by
desktop
accident.
must look really interesting.
Oh.
I've seen her desktop. There's a lot of files.
I can't
She's one of-
delete anything from them. None of us can. It's
She's
weird-
one of those crazy desktop file people.
That's a sign of bad ADHD.
I think Pam, you do really well with an AI agent to tell you where everything is.
That's right. And who better to suggest it? I must admit that the accuracy of AI Zoom in generating minutes and action items is pretty astounding.
Yeah.
That's a lot better, yeah.
Yeah, for my work, we do like AI meeting minutes, and it's pretty incredible.
It really is.
Yeah. Like it gets the small nuances, even when it summarizes it and breaks it
Yeah, the
down.
summaries are very interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, I'll be living a life of leisure once AI takes everything over.
Well, be
Let's hope.
careful.
Otherwise, yeah, we could all
Be
lose our
careful.
jobs.
Until the power goes out, then we start over.
What's that? Dave, I can't do that.
Yeah.
This is town council's suggestion for replacement. As part of a driveway permit decision, the planning board may grant a waiver from the requirements of this bylaw upon finding that it is impractical or impossible to meet one or more requirements, and the waiver will not have a substantial negative impact on public safety.
That's perfect. Sounds great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, substantial, I don't know what that means, but
That's good.
it means we have some flexibility, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lots of generic words. No hard numbers.
So those were the only two comments. The land use table we took out of the definition. It was just a
Okay.
copy and paste error.
Okay, so you're gonna make sure that gets in for tomorrow's night's review by the select board?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
So we wanted to incorporate that definition, correct, for contractor's yard and landscaping
Yes,
yards? Okay.
and then we need to formally vote on a recommendation, right?
Yeah, it's probably best to take a vote on those changes, so it would be the update to item 14 of the driveway bylaw for waivers, and then the definition for contractor yard and landscaping yards.
Do I hear a motion?
Can I say so moved? What you just said? I make a
Yeah.
motion.
Yes.
What you just said.
Right.
Oh, I didn't
That
know you
worked.
could do that. That's very handy.
So moved. Yeah.
And I guess I have to second.
Thank you.
Robert Romer,
Aye.
Eric Nyland,
I
Austin Groner,
I
and James Barr.
that one, that one, and finish what you guys. James said I.
I'm sorry, what's
So-
that?
I was just saying that, so move, and move the question are my favorite procedural.
Oh,
I've always liked
Movements.
previous question.
Yeah.
I like move the question. Just we've heard the same thing 50 times now. Let's just go.
Yeah. Robert's rules. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Previous question.
Okay,
When things get hot.
I guess my initial, first of all, comments from anybody else.
what's that?
Did everybody read through this?
And the scope?
I mean, it sounded like a very reasonable scope to me, and frankly, a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah, this is just for the stormwater review. It's a pretty limited
Yep.
site plan with only 3 lodging homes, so the only thing I think we really need peer review consultation for is review of the drainage calculations.
Right.
And I got this scope of work from Horsley Witten Group for the amount of $3,900 once we receive the check from the applicant. If you approve this and we receive the check from the applicant, they can start review right away. We have a hearing scheduled for April 8th.
Okay. Does
I
that
don't
give
think
them,
we'll-
I mean, they needed, information 21 days ahead of the hearing?
Yeah, it's not gonna be ready by April 8th. We just don't have enough time to get peer review contracts and money in place to
Okay,
get it completed.
okay.
But we will have all our staff review comments by April 8th, and if any plan revisions are needed. we'll get our original input comments. Is there, I'm sorry, someone's unmuting themselves.
Mark Junta here. You'll have to pardon me, my screen is minuscule. What is the topic of this discussion? Is this still the zoning articles, or is this moved on to another?
It's moved on.
Okay. And what would be the subject of this?
It's a scope review of peer review services for the international
Okay.
special permit application.
What were you looking to discuss?
This was it. I just couldn't read it on my screen.
Oh,
I have particular interest in this because, like you fellow members, I was a member of the planning board at the time that we did the rezoning of this, well, that 750 acre parcel that is the international. And have you pulled that decision and reviewed that?
Yeah,
The
we're in the
original
process.
decision, Mark?
I'm sorry?
The original decision with regard to the zoning?
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
process of reviewing the application now.
And
I-
it goes directly to my point. I believe this was limited business recreation is what it was rezoned. Within that, they got the 38 lot subdivision that is the international or the Oaks subdivision. But if memory serves, and I haven't gone down and reread the zoning article, but there was, it could either be a equestrian park or a golf course. There was never any provision in there for lodging or residential. And matter of fact, when that was when we reviewed that, that was paramount in our deliberations that we restrict any. Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, lodging is allowed as an accessory use in the zoning district. And that's what they're applying for through special permit.
I'll take the time and review that, but at that point in time, they had a 55-room lodge on site.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Just clarifying.
Sure.
well, so I don't know the history of accessory
I don't know.
use, but like the accessory use may have been added after the original like
It could be.
bylaw potentially.
I can find the dates, but it is
Uh-huh.
allowed now, and that's the provision they're applying.
I believe it was 98 or 99 because the new Oaks, the Oaks course was built in 2000, 2001. So it was,
Yeah,
in
so
that
I guess we'd have to see when the whole notion of accessory uses was added into the bylaws, and then
Mhm.
when they did do that, they allowed lodging as an accessory use in that zone.
Yeah.
So the planning board needs to determine, I guess, that it is accessory to the property, which we need to determine that, and then we manage the site plan, right?
yeah, so that was my, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mark.
The special permit is for the use, so it's discretionary up to the
Yeah.
board's review. Did you have a question, Mark? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I think you said, I just wanted to ensure that, that the
I'm
board
pulling up the,
and yourself were aware of the concern that the board had in drafting this rezoning at that time. And we felt that that the 38 lot subdivision that is the Oaks subdivision was the limit of I don't want to use the word residential because that's already been addressed within that, but yeah. All right, so my key purpose of being here is to make the board aware that
Yeah.
that we spent a considerable amount of time and discussing this at town meeting. And overwhelmingly, that was a concern of the town at that point in time. So.
Yeah, we could, I mean, we could definitely look into the history of the limited use recreational zone and what the thoughts were, but like, and if the accessory use was added in after. But it is
I
in
don't
the table
believe it.
uses. Yeah,
I don't believe it was, but
yeah.
like I said,
It
spent
looks like
18
there were amendments to the bylaw made in 2021.
Okay,
I
that
don't
would have
know
been.
exactly what they were, but we can certainly look into it. But
Well, I
it is
appreciate-
allowed, it is in there now as an allowed use by special permit.
All right. Well, I thank
They're
you for your.
allowed, there's a density in there too. It's a density of 20 double occupancy rooms for every 100 acres. Is what's permitted in the bylaw.
Okay, that must have been added at a subsequent point. Yeah, the thinking might have been at the time that they had a 55-room lodge. I think all told now there's somewhere around 750 acres with the Schultz farm. All right. Well, I thank you for your diligence, your time this evening, and thank you very much.
Sure.
Thanks for bringing it up, Mark.
You have a good day.
Thank you, Mark.
My laptop battery is about to die. I'm going to switch over to my phone. So just keep going.
Okay, getting back to the peer review.
Yeah.
Are there any other comments specifically on the scope of the peer review or what they're proposing? I find it interesting that we indemnify them, but they don't us. But I guess that's standard language in these.
Yeah, I'm sure it's part of their typical contract. This is Horsley Witten. They've been doing our inspections and they've been easy to work with. So I requested the scope from them.
A quick question. They're talking about the 3 units now, but there will ultimately be 7, right?
They have well, they would have to come back in for those additional 4 units that they show kind of as phase 2 in their special permit application. So right now, when we review the project, it will only be for 3.
Aren't there some implications of, a larger development and impact on drainage? I mean, one would assume that they had figured this all out up front and are
Mhm.
going after 3 now and 4 later.
Yes.
Have they indicated that?
I don't know. I haven't looked
Could
at
you
the
check
drainage
into that?
calcs.
Because there may very well be impact either way. Be
Well,
nice
I
to
mean-
look at the whole subdivision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll go through all the stormwater calculations as we
Yeah, I
went through this
haven't-
process right now.
I haven't looked at them.
I'm on my phone now too, so I'm gonna have the camera off. Otherwise, you'll be looking up my nose or something.
No, we don't want to do that.
The calcs account for 7.
The calc accounts for 7.
Yeah, the stormwater calcs.
End of discussion. Thank you. Okay, so you need our vote on this, Pam?
Yeah, I just wanted you to approve this scope and then I can collect funds from the applicant and get the peer review started.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the review scope for the peer review for Ballville Road at the International?
So moved.
And a second. Thank you.
Robert Romer,
Aye.
Eric Nyland,
Aye.
Austin Groner,
Aye.
and James Barr.
Aye.
Great, thank you. That passes by a vote of 4-0. We'll get that started.
So moving on to Forbush Mill, my favorite topic. Pam, there's new and better information.
I'm trying. I have in the OneDrive folder. I started the report. It's about 20 pages of existing information from the economic development plan, the master plan, and then our own research. I haven't included the parcel sheets in there yet. It's very preliminary and draft. And at the end of it, I went through the different zoning options.
Wow.
Mixed use. Where is it? Mixed use form-based code, and then we could also do a new village zoning district. So if you want to just take a look at that in general and keep it in mind, please, that it's still, things still need to be added in it, and it's in a very much a draft form.
Is this up on the drive now?
Yeah, it's in the drive. I can send it. We have I'll send you a link just to your folder.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
then
great.
one to this report specifically, because I know it's been a while since.
No, thanks. That's
It's
a
sent
great
it
amount
out.
of effort.
I've
So
never heard of form-based codes. Is that more of an urban?
it
kind of-
is, but there's aspects of it we can take a look at and incorporate. It sets your building height and setbacks based on this size of the building, and that kind of you work your way back. So you design your building and then determine your lot areas and sizes and building placement. So instead of having a standard 1 acre or 2 acre parcel size requirement, you kind of set the lot size requirements based on the scale of your
So it's an
development.
area ratio based approach,
Yeah, more so, yeah.
which for a business area makes a lot more sense, as
Yeah,
Eric
we
has
had
pointed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's much better, yeah. I haven't got to look through this yet, so. Review it for next meeting, I guess.
I'll get a link out tomorrow.
Great.
I know
Thank
this
you.
might be strange, but is there a concept of a minimum setback in order to make sure at least a certain density is met for
We would
the-
want to do that, yeah.
Okay.
In a
I'm
community
sorry.
like Bolton.
I meant to say maximum. setback.
Maximum.
I meant to say
Oh, yeah.
maximum. Yeah. So, which is not usual, obviously, but in order to make sure that development is sufficiently dense for this area, I wonder if we could consider something like that. I've heard of this concept before. You want to make sure that the land is properly utilized, right?
Well, I mean, it'll become an economic cottage park, right?
Right.
We can, you just want to be careful how you relate the maximum setbacks to properties that may have more than one building on a lot, because you do want to allow some flexibility, so we can apply that maybe to one of the structures and any sort of second or third structures that are on the building can get relief from that requirement.
Mhm.
Just in case there's buildings behind each other or situated a little differently, they may not necessarily all have street frontage.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's more appropriate for the land that the DPW is currently on, that the town owns or something.
Yeah, that very much so. Yep. That's a great suggestion.
Okay, so you'll shoot us a link to that and we'll take a look at it for the
Yes.
next meeting?
Yeah, I don't have any bylaws drafted yet, but
Well, I mean,
moving forward.
probably premature at this point. You know, we ought to read through this and have a conversation about, if you want to look at which bylaws should be addressed or new ones put in place for this somewhat unique area, that would be great. We got to attract some business. And I think that's critical. I mean, it's got to be appealing.
Hmm.
Okay, do we want to go on with a review of minutes for the January 25th meeting at which I did not attend?
Do we have a quorum? Yes, we do.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
I had no
Okay.
corrections.
I had no issues, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the January 28th, 2026 minutes.
Second.
Austin Groner,
I
Michael Lau. Oh, he's not here. Eric Nyland,
Aye.
James Barr.
Aye.
The minutes are approved by a vote of 3-0.
Okay, do we have any other business? Pam and I have been asked to join a meeting with Kate Boyack and undefined number of people representing CME along with their attorney next week. So we'll report back on the outcome of that conversation and hopefully move forward on CME.
Good luck.
Yep, good luck.
I was gonna say good luck.
There's the desktop. You're running
Kind
out
of a
of space.
sardonic wish here.
Pam,
The other
what-
thing, as you've seen, is the moderator way, which is pretty straightforward since the town now owns the land as part of the negotiated agreement. And it's just a matter of making it a public way
Oh.
through a
So
vote of ATM.
procedurally, the select board have to vote their intent to lay out the way and refer it to the planning board. They're doing that at tomorrow evening's meeting. After that, the planning board can make their recommendation, and then the select board is holding their public hearing in April. And then it's on the warrant for town meeting.
Thank you.
Just the as-built are done. I was supposed to go out with Randy tomorrow, get the punch list, and New England Stormwater has cleaned all the catch basins. They still have to dredge or clean up the, not dredge, but clean out the stormwater basins, this detention ponds.
Is that primarily the one down by the road?
There are 3 in there. One's
Really?
back towards the circle, down off the common driveway. Another is to the right, halfway up the hill, and then there's the one at the corner.
Wow. Okay, with that, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn?
A
Second.
second? And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Bye.
right.
Good
Take
night.
care,
Good
everybody.
night.
Take care.